I just want everyone to know that this isn't just about me or the other girl that stepped down. It's about the girl in ninth place who should have had a place on that podium. It's about the girl who didn't qualify for state because they were beat by a biological male in districts. It's about the integrity and fairness of women's sports and the fact that if we allow biological males to continue competing in women's sports, we're invalidating all the work that women have done to get us fair and equal competition.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
So I was trying to political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Transgender athlete from Harupa Valley is competing in track and field CIF state championship events today after qualifying earlier this week. It's a move that has drawn controversy across the nation.
Just yesterday, A.B. Hernandez came out strong in all three events at Buchanan High School in Clovis. The teen has been under scrutiny for competing in girls' sports. The CIF has since made changes for how girls play and qualify in the championship. If Hernandez takes the top spot in her categories today, the second place biological female would be also awarded first place.
Meanwhile, President Trump is threatening to strip federal funding from California for violating his administration's executive order banning transgender female athletes competing in women's school sports.
It's the result of a first-of-its-kind rule change from the California Interscholastic Federation, or CIF, which allows, quote, biological female athletes to compete and potentially earn the same medal that a trans athlete wins. The CIF has not specified how it defines biological female. Hernandez shared the top spot in triple jump with an athlete who trailed her by just over half a meter, and in high jump with two athletes who matched her 5'7" best, but each had a failed attempt.
See how happy this kid is being herself. You know, the first time I saw her come out dressed as a girl where she didn't have to hide it from me, I saw it in her face. So I was like, this is it. This is what she wants. I'm going to support it.
I'm just so secure in who I am, and I just know that no one's going to break me. Y'all tried, but I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere.
Hernandez's mother celebrating her win on Instagram, writing in a statement, quote, watching you rise above months of being targeted, misunderstood, and judged, not by peers but by adults who should have known better, has left me in awe of your strength. The CIF announced the new policy ahead of the competition, anticipating Hernandez's participation, which has drawn protests in the state and beyond.
I'm here to save my daughter's future.
The CIF saying in a statement it, quote, values all of our student athletes and will continue to uphold our mission of providing students with the opportunity to belong, connect, and compete while complying with California law. Earlier this week, President Trump warned in a post on Truth Social that he would pull federal funding from California if Hernandez competed in the state finals.
The war on women's sports is over.
Referencing this executive order he signed in February, which stipulates the federal government will, quote, rescind all funds from educational programs that deprive women and girls of fair athletic opportunities. The Department of Justice this week also announcing it would investigate the CIF and Hernandez's school district to determine if they violated federal sex discrimination laws. California Governor Gavin Newsom previously called trans athlete participation in sports unfair.
Two high school track stars refused to stand on the medal podium after placing in the Oregon State Championship for the high jump. Why? Because the athlete standing next to them was a biological male.
Also in fifth place for Miami Wells, Leon Rose. Fourth place honors to Sherwood's Reese Eckerd. In third place from Tiger, Alexa Anderson.
Alexa Anderson and Reese Eckerd placed third and fourth, respectively, but tied for fifth was a trans athlete, Leah Rose. The two teens refused to take their places on the podium and turned their backs to it, quietly protesting a system that forced them and their teammates to surrender spots to a trans.
This was my first time competing against a transgender individual, so this is the first public stand that I have taken in this issue, but I have privately supported all other girls that have done the same with positive messages, commenting on posts, and just supporting them and letting them know I'm behind them in any way. It's unfair because biological males and biological females compete at such different levels that allowing a biological male into our competition is taking up space and opportunity from all these hardworking women. The girl in ninth who should have been in eighth and had that podium spot had that taken away from her, as well as many others. Yeah, we stepped off the podium in protest, and as you can see in the video, an official kind of told us, hey, go over there. If you're not going to participate, get out of the photos.
Our next guest filed her own federal lawsuit after she lost her varsity cross country spot to a trans athlete.
Just sad to see that these boys are taking girls their fairness in sports away from them, because women 50 years have fought for their rights, and it's being taken away by these guys that are taking away girls' awards, their medals, they're taking away their spots. And it's just not fair, and it's just so sad to see that this is what me, a 16-year-old girl, has to fight for all those women.
Couldn't be more proud. I mean, a 15 and a 16-year-old girl stood up and wore these shirts and were compared to a Nazi by their athletic director.
That's craziness. So I wanted to just bring this up very quickly and talk about it. You know, as a dad of girls, I shudder to think that, thankfully, my girls didn't play sports, but I would shudder to think that they would have to compete against boys that couldn't perform well in their own sport, but now in their sport they dominate. That would be ridiculous. But we've seen this time and time again. So what is the actual, what is it, what is this, what's the end game? The end game is very, very simple. It's extremely simple. We've allowed this narrative that men and women are different. Strike that. We've allowed the narrative that men and women are basically the same. You can just change and jump between the two however you want to. When in fact, we know that there's nothing that's more unique and special than the way God made a woman and the way God made a man. But for us as humans to say that there's truly a difference between males and females gets desperately close, razor's edge close to there are different roles and different jobs and duties between males and females. And if we get that close, oh, it's just a little next thing you know, you can be like, well, who determine these roles and these responsibilities? And what ends up happening is you will have to eventually come back to what Genesis teaches. And let's just pull this in very quickly and just look at it very quick. Then God said, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. And in the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. The end goal of this, the end game of this all is a continuance, a denial that God exists and that God has said what is and what isn't, what shall and what shall not, the beginnings and the ends. This is basically what we're watching is man attempting to replace God in all functions. I mean, just think about it. Just think about it. We believe that we can determine when life begins. We believe that we can determine what a marriage is. We believe that we can determine what a man is and what a woman is. We believe that we can determine all of these as humans, when in fact, in honesty, in all reality, God has already determined it. But we've kind of usurped it and said, oh, no, we can say it and we can determine. And dare we even say that we can do a better job at it. And we know that's crazy and we know that's foolish. But down in the comments, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for rocking with us today. Give me your thoughts on this. And do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm missing the point? Am I too much of a Luddite? Am I too much of a Neanderthal that I don't get it? Or do you think that I'm right on the money? Let me know what you think down in the comments. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for liking the video as well as for sharing it. And thank you for helping us get closer to our goal of 50,000 subscribers. So go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.